Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where apparently China is sending a decent number of forces over to Borneo. So I think I'm going to mobilize this force here, and we're going to deploy that out to a front down over here. It'll take them a while to get there. We'll see if they get there in time. Hopefully they will, and we'll see how this war with China plays out. It's going to be very interesting, no doubt about that. Let's tick on forward here. The war is going to break out very shortly. Here we go. 2 arms. So, Austria declared their rivalry with us. That's kind of awkward timing there, Austria. But sure. We're immediately seeing a battle breaking out here, which China is losing, which isn't hugely shocking. And broadly, this seems probably okay. The question is, can we get any of these attacks done successfully? Well, this is one that is happening, so that is a good sign. Keep in mind, we will have NCO training in 11 months, so if this battle, or rather this war, goes particularly badly, we'll see how that goes. We are seeing these guys still building up their organization. It'll take some time for the Chinese troops to arrive here, but we are going to start seeing some of these forces arriving soon. So that is, of course, mildly problematic. I want to see what's going on over here. Blunder. Okay. So we're losing this attack. That's not too shocking. Over here, the Chinese are losing their attack, and over here, they're losing their attack as well. So that seems reasonably fine. Our attack here is winning, which is absolutely excellent. Great Britain has sided with Hanover. We currently have some trade routes from China that are inactive. I'm absolutely shocked about that. Who could have ever seen them cutting off our trade? Remarkable. So it looks like they've managed to push in a little bit off over here. I expect them to eventually get pushed back. Yeah, they're making some gains over here for the time being. That's not a big deal. Once we get Borneo cleared up, we do expect to very soon. Where are you guys going? And why are you going there? Don't go back to the Baltic HQ. Just come right on over here. Just get turned around. Okay. Now they're turned around and actually heading over. Where are you guys going? You're going to the Outer Manchuria front? Okay, sure. I guess that's fine. Where's our National Guard at? Here. They're going to the Outer Manchuria front. I guess we can let that slide if these guys are going to hop over here and take over this front. They'll head to Manchuria eventually, but for the time being, I guess this is okay. So we're just going to do something along the lines of this, get this area taken over. So we are, I believe, currently winning this war. There's a Finnish capitalist revolt. Okay, very rude, but whatever. We're winning this attack. And the question is, are we going to see additional losses over on this Manchurian front? We'll see if that ends up happening. We are, of course, going to be taking over this area very, very quickly. That appears to be under control. And we do need this up over here, right? So if we take a look at the Dutch East Indies here and their war support, yeah, we need to attack here. So to that end, I think we have to do a naval invasion of that. Yes. So we're going to get that going with this force here. They should have that taken over nice and quickly. We are seeing some Chinese forces moving around for the time being, but things look decent on our 2 fronts. We are seeing some losses on this front here. I'm not hugely shocked about that, but we are seeing our advantage continue to go up. So for the moment, I think it's reasonably fine. I'm not too concerned about this front. That is not a huge deal right now. Okay, so this naval invasion is occurring here and shouldn't take very long. Once that naval invasion is complete, I'm going to send this force up to the Manchurian front, which should be absolutely fine. This battle is still ongoing. Remarkable. Is this the same battle? Or have we fought this battle, like, multiple times and just not gained anything over here? I don't know, but we have access to submarines, so that's reasonably fine. We are hopefully going to be seeing these landing progresses happening very, very soon. So we're currently contested. They're defending fleets in this sea. It's because of these guys. Okay, so we currently have a battle happening here, and we should easily win these battles. We've already won one of them, and we win another one. Fantastic. The question is, is the Chinese fleet going to exit here? Because we're not going to actually... Yeah, we're easily winning these battles. We're not going to actually make any progress until this is uncontested, right? So these guys need to leave. Ooh, we're seeing some gains. Oh, we're seeing big gains now. Huge gains. Okay, so there's currently a front open down over in the North Borneo front. I am going to grab our National Guard and send them over to the North Borneo front. We don't have anyone over there right now. It's going to take them some time to get there, but that is fine. So there's a Belgian diplomatic play. Okay, that is noted. But we're absolutely seeing some solid gains here in China. So that looks good. And hang on. War with Finnish capitalist revolt has broken out. So I do expect that the Swedish army, or rather the Finnish army, is able to handle this. There's no one there. No one is handling it. Okay, I'm going to mobilize these guys. We're going to head out over there, and then we'll send them over to the Manchurian front after. That'll be reasonably fine. So these guys are arriving over here. They're stationed at the Indonesia HQ. I guess we may as well send them over to this front and tell our National Guard, you know what? You may want to just stay at this front. And that's what we're going to do, as long as these guys are here anyway. This is this occupied by us? Yes, it is. Okay. So we completed that naval invasion successfully. That sounds good. I do want to not station in an HQ. I want to have these guys positioned in this C node for right now. So that seems reasonably good. We are pressing in on some of these fronts, and we should very, very quickly be seeing some gains here, except we have no organization is the term I'm looking for. We'll recruit this guy and promote him up a few times. I'm noting our current bureaucracy situation, but that'll be fine. Cool. So we are definitely getting gains on China here. And we should see this be fully cleaned up out over this way very shortly. Currently, the Ottoman Empire wants to enter a trade agreement with us. That is acceptable. And these guys should definitely be easily winning this battle. And indeed they are. Okay, so they are currently heading to the front out over here. I actually want them to move to the Manchurian front. So we're going to bring them out over here instead. Cool, so that seems absolutely fine. We are making gains. Yeah, we're winning out over here. So that seems good. We've pushed them back from the occupations that they made early on in the war. And I want to check up over here. Yeah, this is fully occupied. I want these guys to come deploy to this front. Okay, there we go. Speaking out on speech, huh? Oh, there's NCO training. Okay, beautiful. Do we want to do upgrades right now? I feel like we don't need it, and it will probably slow us down more. So we'll do that after the war, I think. And sure, the Cadets Party can get some additional support. More oil has been discovered, which of course is always a good thing. I want to get that queued up if we can, but we actually can't. That might be like within one of our vassals or something. I didn't really look at it, so that would be reasonably fine. So the question is, at what point... Actually, the Dutch East Indies are interested in exiting this war, but probably not if we do all of this, right? Yeah, they're not interested if we do all of that. However, they can go below 0, and China cannot because we do not have them fully occupied out over on this front yet. We are working on it. We're bringing in additional forces here. And this seems reasonably fine. We have a big deficit, but we also have inefficient agriculture. But we also are still working on our gold reserves right now, so we're not even in debt yet. This is looking absolutely phenomenal. We are working on pushing in some of these territories. We got pushed back out over here by the Chinese, which is unfortunate. The question is, when is the Dutch East Indies going to be interested in capitulation? And the answer to that is not yet. Okay. Well, that's reasonably fine. We're just going to continue to fight on this Chinese front. We're at 64 over here now. And yeah, we should be fairly easily pressing in over here. We should have full occupation of our required areas very, very soon. The Finnish capitalist revolt will, of course, be done very soon. Minus 30% momentum to the Communist Party, huh? Fascinating. Okay, so how are we doing on our manpower? Actually quite well, with the exception of the 10th. which doesn't really matter. Everyone else is doing absolutely okay on their manpower, so I think this is fine. We're just going to continue to get occupations. This is a successful attack out over here, and this is where it's important to attack, right? And that might actually give us... Hang on, did that give us full occupation? No, Tomsk. We do not have full occupation on Tomsk, which is up over here. Okay, I'm going to designate that as a strategic objective. And we'll go grab that as soon as we can to allow them to drop below 0. So that seems absolutely great. How close is the Dutch East Indies to capitulation? 103 away. They're still in positive war support for now, which is mildly remarkable. But that seems okay. Cool. So we just need to get this battle for Tomsk under control, and we're absolutely winning that. So this seems great right now. No problem whatsoever. We are going to run out of money fairly soon and start going into debt. We're failing this attack, but that's okay. We don't really care too much about that as long as we get Tomsk under our control, which looks like it is going to be very, very shortly. And there's the Finnish capitalist revolt being done. That is a good sign. Now, China can't drop below 0 yet, but they will be able to, in theory, as soon as we finish up this battle. So they're currently at 0, and we'll see when they're able to drop down. Cool. So the battle finishes up, and hopefully that's all of Tomsk under our control? Yes, it is. Beautiful. So China can now drop below 0. This is all one unified front now, which is also a very, very good sign. So that seems good. The question is, when are they going to be willing to do this? Well, still 7 war support for the Dutch East Indies. Oil has been discovered in Ob. That's okay. Now, this war is going phenomenally well, which is about what we expected, to be honest. Yeah, we're definitely making solid gains here. I like it. So we're going to get a lot out of this war, right? Like, a whole lot. No doubt about that. Double war reparations from, actually triple, from China, Tibet, and the Dutch East Indies. We're going to get 3 states from China, and we're going to end up getting 2 states from the Dutch East Indies, as well as transferring 2 vassals from the Dutch East Indies. That's a huge, huge deal. So China's currently at minus 15. Capitulation desire is still minus 148 here. Actually, the Dutch East Indies are willing to accept this. They're at minus 1 war support, but still minus 78 capitulation desire. So it's going to take some time to get this capitulation desire down. The Octoberist Party ends up winning with 54.3% of the vote. That's not necessarily ideal, but we can do a... Ooh. Wow. Okay, so the Octoberist Party can't actually join this, and is that because the Gentry Assembly is suppressed? Yes. Okay. So we're going to have to stop suppressing them. I guess that's okay. And that then means... Actually, this is a contested government. Sure, we'll take that. Seems reasonably fine. Cool. So we'll just continue pressing into China here, and eventually they're going to be willing to give up, but not yet. We can't be dropped below 0, so it's absolutely fine for the moment. We're seeing huge numbers of Chinese dead and wounded, so yeah, that's not going to go... I mean, they have basically limitless resources in that regard. It does bear noting. Like, our population is 69.4, which I am contractually obligated to say nice about, but, I mean, compare that to China's population of 414 million. Yeah, that's a lot. No doubt about that. That's a whole lot. So we're continuing to attack here. They are currently at 25 reasons to not accept this. So we'll definitely be able to get there very, very easily here. Capitulation desire for the Dutch East Indies is at minus 66. That's not going down nearly as quickly as it is for China, which is slightly sad, but it's fine. So the question is... How's this battle going? Absolutely okay. Like, they don't really have a way to win this at this point. It's just a matter of time until they're willing to accept this. Minus 38, now minus 42 war support. They're 15 reasons away from acceptance. And honestly, all of that is due to the size of their gold reserves. Wild. Okay, Well, the war support alone will change it. So that seems fine. Of course, we have a bit of debt now, but this isn't too bad. We've still got an army in reserve as well. Like, this is absolutely okay. We did not pit all of our armies to do this. Yeah, no problem. The moment we switch to squad infantry, we're going to get so much stronger too, which we can do anytime we want. I'm just deliberately waiting until after the war here. So I want to be very clear about that. Minus 52 for the war support for China now. They're down to minus 2 peace acceptance. We will propose this peace deal as soon as we can, which is, I think, basically next week tick. So right about... There we go. Propose the peace deal. Done. Fantastic. What? Why is Britain's war goal here? That's a bug there. We got more war goals than this. We got a bunch of territories out up over here. That's all great. And the ruler of the East has now happened. Cool. The port of Vladivostok shall be the finest in the nation. Absolutely. So that's all under our control now. That's great. And we also have a significant control over in Borneo. So we took some territory out over here. This is now our vassal, and I want to begin improving relations with them. Let's see. This is our vassal as well. We're going to improve relations there. We're going to pay off our debt quite quickly at this rate. That seems good. And we're going to need to, of course, start incorporating these states. So what states did we take here? North Borneo is actually already being worked on, but we need these states. Okay, looks good. So that's all solid progress. Now we are negative on our bureaucracy, and I want to hop into our government administrations here, checking taxation capacity. Okay, so each one of these is going to produce 65 bureaucracy. We need like a total of 3 of these. We have one being built in Uzbekia. I'm not sure where that in Uzbekia is. I was under the impression that we had all of those built, but maybe it's at the back of the list from a rebellion. There's an electrics industry that we could move up. Okay. We'll just do something along the lines of that. We'll get all these completed. That'll be fine. Okay, so with that underway, that seems good. I want to check in on any rubber plantations that we can build. And we can build a couple in Russian East Borneo. Those become a high priority. I also saw oil rigs in Ob. Those are a low priority, but we'll queue them up regardless. Okay, that looks good. So what are we at right now for infamy? 16.5. That is not very high considering how many gains we just got. It was a lot of gains. No doubt about it. So Japanese shogunate. How are you feeling about being... Oh, 80 infamy. Britain would almost certainly become interested in that one. Okay. Mission number 1. We are going to go through and we're going to upgrade all of our trench infantry in all of our core armies. So that is the first mission here. And this is the 1st Russian army. We'll need the 8th Russian army, the 9th Russian army, the 3rd Russian army, which is still awkwardly not completed. I don't know what's going on with that. Why is it going into these other armies? Why do they keep reappearing? I don't. It's very strange. No doubt about it. But we'll get all of these upgrading regardless. And these have shrapnel artillery. That might have been captured from something that we just took over. But even so, very, very strange. No doubt about that. Okay, so we're going to get all of these completed. It's going to take a year. Okay, that's a lot of negative construction efficiency here, mostly due to devastation and turmoil. That will get better over time. So we may want to, well, I was going to say we may want to change our priority here, but I don't think that really matters, to be honest. I think we'll just get these done. It's only 3 constructions, and we'll call that good. Okay, so everything looks absolutely fine on that front. We are upgrading to squad infantry, and those will be a significant upgrade. Electrical capacitors into pasteurization is our next research. I want to check in here. Ah, We are now below our innovation cap. Our literacy has increased a fair amount. We can get an additional 10. Okay, so each of these universities is 3 innovation. I'm going to build 1, 2, 3, 4 in Moscow. So that's going to get us plus 12. Which should be... It's not going to be, like... It's not going to remain forever, right? That'll be just enough to get us up over our innovation cap. And we'll have to keep an eye on that situation. But that'll be absolutely fine. So we've definitely made significant gains down over here. Eventually, we're going to want to reduce autonomy here. And actually, they'll just accept that right now, which we'll do. Well, these guys... Do we have a truce here? We don't. Why is it unavailable currently to reduce autonomy? Oh, because we already have a pending diplomatic demand. Okay. So they accepted that demand, and we'll reduce autonomy here. They'll accept that as well. Fantastic. So those are now at least colored, according to us. And let's see here. Who are you a subject of? Britain. Okay. Well, we don't really want to tangle with Britain right now. I mean, with that squad infantry, it's probably slightly better. 28-140. I bet they also have squad infantry. They probably do. I think we can see their technology somewhere. But with 28-140, I'm guessing that they have squad infantry. We can see it perhaps in, like, here? Okay, that's their command limit. We want to see what their power level is in this army, right? 44 offense, 64 defense. I think that's probably squad infantry. So if we check in on our squad infantry, we can just hop in, like, over here, right? And we can see that squad infantry is 40 offense, 50 defense. It's probably based off of squad infantry. So we are slightly stronger than Britain, but we still don't really want to tangle with them. That would be a very expensive war. And I think it's for everyone involved's interest to just not. What's going on with Oman at this point? Interesting. They would not just become our protectorate. Minus 10. That's very interesting indeed. Very, very interesting. China had Egypt side with them against a radical faction. Okay, sure. I mean, China just got pretty wrecked, so they're not doing well. No doubt about that. How are we doing on those rubber plantations? That's down to 20 weeks now? Okay. The negative construction efficiency is still rough there, no doubt about it. But I really want to get those rubber plantations online. Our universities are going to be done fairly soon. That will bump up our innovation cap, and that seems good as well. Do we have any law changes that we want to do right now? We're in a legitimate government right now. And, I mean, with the Octoberist Party, probably not. The Octoberist Party is mostly going to be trying to move us backwards in terms of liberalization, right? So I suspect that would be the case. I don't think there's any major law changes we're going to want right now. Yeah, there really isn't. Okay, that's fine. Reasonably expected. I'm not shocked about that. Okay, there's a liberal revolt diplomatic play against our vassal over here. I'm going to send the National Guard over there. That is the wrong button. We're going to head on over. Beautiful. How much do they have? 2 + 1? Okay. Yeah, they're going to lose that. Pretty hard. How are we doing now? 33,887. Are we fully switched over to squad infantry now? We are. Okay. So that is noted. Cool. So, I mean, I would really like... Yeah, this is just bugged. It's just straight up bugged here. I don't know. We're close to the end of the game. Maybe it doesn't matter all that much. It's reasonably fine. We've managed to get our hands on a source of rubber, which is, of course, very, very good. It is, unfortunately, an overseas form. Insufficient construction for investment pool. Ah, yes. Okay. So, it's interesting that this outputs this now. We used to just have to check it. That's a nice quality of life thing. So I like that. That does, of course, mean that we want to boost up some of our construction sectors. And specifically, I don't actually want to do that. What I want to do is I want to go in via this and look at it this way. Okay, so we can see here that Alaska is actually where we want this to go, which is mildly remarkable. How much do we need? So our investment pool is going up by, I think, 65, so we need like 10. Let's double check that. Yeah, we need about 10 or 11, something like that. I'm going to do 12, and we'll call that good. So all of these construction sectors will take some time to complete. I don't mind delaying these rubber plantations. It is getting more efficient to build there all the time. So that seems reasonably fine, and we do want to eat up this investment pool as soon as we can. I didn't realize that our investment pool was going up, but it absolutely is, and we should deal with that. So we are certainly going to do so. In comes more construction sectors. And at this point, we don't really care about damaging relations with China anymore. Next up, we're kind of interested in attacking Ukraine, but what do they have for alliances? Romania? And they have a defensive pact with Austria, Egypt, Ottoman Empire, and Poland. Can we get into the fight with just Poland? The answer is yes. That would also pull Ukraine into the fight, which would be interesting. But I don't think we have a good way to actually fight Poland there, or rather fight Ukraine there. Because if we make declarations on any of their territory after attacking Poland, I'm pretty sure all of Ukraine's defensive pacts would join in. The question is, do we care? I mean, Austria is not that strong. Akishi Liberal Revolt. Honestly, this is going to be done before this is a thing, so we'll just send the National Guard to that. Sounds good. We're going to push in here immediately, and this is going to go very, very quickly indeed. So that is absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever there. Our rubber plantations are finishing now. Cool. That seems good. Absolutely phenomenal. So these guys, as soon as they finish up here, which will be momentarily, we don't want them to head back to the West Siberia HQ. I want them to deploy directly to the Kishi front. Not that it's strictly necessary. The first Kishi army might be able to handle that if the Kishi Liberal Revolt gets no troops between now and then. But they might, and we're just going to deploy our National Guard because they're going to be raised anyway. We may as well. So that seems absolutely fine. Our government administration finishing up here in Outer Manchuria. Beautiful. And now we're back to oil rigs. What do we need in terms of goods? I mean, automobiles are pretty expensive right now. We may want to get more motor industries into there. Sure. I'm going to put up another 10 into there. Okay, so we'll get that underway. Minus 5% construction efficiency there. And that is just due to that trade union's work to rule. I don't know when that's actually going to go away. That should be relatively soon, right? This will be a minus 10% modifier here. What's this 4.9 construction efficiency here? Okay, from trade union's work to rule there. So it shows up there, but is that actually a modifier here? I don't think it is. Maybe it's in here. No. Okay. Well, maybe that's a thing eventually. Who knows? At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to crush this rebellion and probably think about further military expansion. We've got about 10 years left in this game, and we'll see how that goes, how far we can get over this way. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.